Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Symphony Sounds. I'm Ann Harrigan, Music Director of the Billings Symphony, and I'm here with a very special guest and friend, Javier Velasco. Welcome.
Thank you.
Javier, we've known each other for a minute.
Yeah, for a few decades now, I think, for a while.
Tell our audiences about your role and why you're going to be here with us for this next concert.
Yeah, well, I'm the artistic director of the San Diego Ballet, and so your patrons and followers may know us because the San Diego Ballet comes to Billings every year to do the Nutcracker with the Billings Symphony. And as the artistic director, I'm responsible for all the choreography of the San Diego Ballet, and so I'm responsible for the ballet that's going to be done in front of the symphony for this concert, which is Sleeping Beauty.
And we have been talking about doing Sleeping Beauty together for 20 years. And finally, on January 24th, this dream for our community is going to become a reality.
Yeah.
So Sleeping Beauty, I mean, there's so many ballets. Why have we hyper-focused on wanting to do Sleeping Beauty together?
Well, for the general audience, when they think of ballet, they probably, even when it's not Christmas time, they probably think of the Nutcracker. But for people in the ballet world, the big ballet actually is Sleeping Beauty. That's the one that is kind of the apex of ballet. So that's why we thought, you know, if we're going to do something outside of Christmas time, let's do something that is going to be meaningful to both the symphony and the ballet company.
So when you say it's the apex, are you talking about the dancing is the most amazing dancing, or what is it that you say this is the greatest ballet ever?
Well, I don't know if you can use the word greatest, but it's like where everything that ballet was and was up to that time, it all came together in Sleeping Beauty. And that's where all of a sudden you have a ballet that people suddenly recognize this is classical ballet as opposed to romantic ballet. So classical ballet is a type of ballet that it sort of fits all of these sort of heightened visions and illusions of what classicism is. Now that gets us into a little trouble with today's audiences, because today's audiences, when they think of Sleeping Beauty, they think of the Disney cartoon. Yes. And they think of this as something that's going to be very family friendly. So for a 21st century audience, when they see Sleeping Beauty, they think, oh, this is something I can bring my kids to. Well, actually, Sleeping Beauty is 4 acts long. It's about 3.5 hours long. And what the kids are really interested in, which is the storybook characters, don't come out until the very end. So with the San Diego Ballet, what we've done is we've tried to make a production of Sleeping Beauty that'll speak to today's audiences. So our Sleeping Beauty is very family friendly from the start. So it is something that you can bring your children to, and all the expectations that you would have when you're going to go see a fairy tale, you're going to see when you see this production.
Yes, Billings audiences, this is absolutely going to be a perfect family friendly concert. In fact, it's the perfect ballet to go to if you've seen the Nutcracker and you're thinking, what do I do next?
Right.
It's got the most amazing athleticism of any ballet I've ever seen, and it's a combination of beauty and just jaw-dropping performance. There's this one very famous solo, if I can use layman's terms here, which you just sort of sit there in amazement as our principal ballerina, Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, she balances on one toe while having her hand given to 4 different guys, and she has to balance back and forth, and we're like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. You know? And it's so beautiful. It's called the Rose Adagio. Yep. And for me, but there's also, it's interesting, you know, in the Nutcracker, you tend to think of the Sugar Plum Fairy as being the star of the show and Clara. But in Sleeping Beauty, there's so many stars.
Right. There are so many different roles. There is the lead in the ballet, which is Aurora, but there are so many other parts that show off dancers that a lot of times you will see other principal dancers from the company doing these other roles. So instead of just seeing one principal dancer for the company, you end up seeing 4 principal dancers for the company in all of the roles of the ballet, because the ballet does have that requirement. So you'll see someone in this tiny little solo, in this tiny little jewel of a solo, you'll see a first dancer doing that one night. And then the next night she'll be Aurora, and the woman who's playing Aurora will be some other one of these smaller, you can call them, because the length of the time is smaller, but the demands of the part is just as much as the demands of the lead.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we're going to see that here because we are packing in this production into 12 dancers, 8 women 8 women and 4 men, and they are going to be doing a lot of double duty. Then the one that's super fun for the kids, I think, of course, is Puss in Boots and the White Cat.
Right.
So funny, so clever. And Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood pops up there too.
You know, when I first saw Little Red Riding Hood in a video, I was like, And then when I saw it live, I was just absolutely fell in love with it.
It's charming.
I have to do Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
So we've kind of cherry-picked this long ballet, and we've picked the most family-friendly movements. And I love Caraboss, the evil fairy. Who cannot like her? She has the best music, the best costumes, and I think that I'm excited. So we're not doing the whole ballet. We're going to do about, I think, 35 minutes of it.
Right, and we're going to be dancing in front of the orchestra.
Yes.
So that's another treat for the audience to see as well. So instead of just dancing in front of this sort of like static flat, we're actually going to be dancing in front of the orchestra, which is not just fun for the audience to see the musicians playing behind the dancers, but it's fun for the dancers to be on stage getting the energy from the orchestra, who's usually in the pit.
Right, exactly. And especially since the music is so brilliant for Sleeping Beauty, for the orchestra, so it'll be fun. Now this concert is January 24th at 7:30 p.m. at the Alberta Bear Theater. Tickets are available at billingssymphony.org. You can go there and it'll send you anywhere you want to go with lots of links about fun facts, program notes, bios on you. And this will be on the second half, but also in the first half, we're going to be performing Mozart's 39th Symphony, which is one of my favorites. It's rarely performed because it's so difficult, but the Billings Symphony Orchestra is absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to perform that along with Stephanie Grail, who is our MASO competition winner.
Okay.
Now for those of you who say, MASO, what's that? Montana Association of Symphony Orchestras is an organization of all of our orchestras in the entire state. We get together and we collaborate. We do a lot of things. We share music, we help support each other, and we do a competition every other year to identify the most talented young people and get them in front of the orchestra. And now Stephanie Grail is going to play the string bass.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's going to start our program. So that's a pretty packed program, and as I said, it's a great program for the family. I think time together is one of the most precious things. You know what they say, the minutes go by like years, and the years goes by like seconds. And nobody has ever said to me, boy, I'm really sorry I took that time to go to the symphony.
Right.
It never in my life. Everybody says, I'm too busy. You make your tickets, you go, you feel rejuvenated. You see so many people you haven't seen for a while, you reconnect. And I think the only thing I hear about somebody who didn't go to the symphony is, shoot, I really missed out, I'm sorry I went.
Well, and it's especially important to take young children to see these things.
So anyways, it's an exciting time. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with what it takes to put together a ballet? This is not a slap it together in a weekend project, is it?
No, but we have performed Sleeping Beauty recently. So a lot of the dancers who you're going to be seeing have done the parts that they did maybe about 2 years ago.
All right.
So for them, it's just sort of like putting on an old glove. So, but it takes a little while to get the kinks out of it. But once it's on there, it fits perfectly. So no, I think one of the wonderful things about Sleeping Beauty is that for dancers, they actually get to show off their classical technique and dance in a very joyful way, which they don't often get to do a lot, in ballets. So believe it or not, a lot of times the technique is kind of blurred to make a character, but in Sleeping Beauty, everything has to be pure, and so it's a lot of, it's very rewarding for them to do.
Well, we love the San Diego Ballet, and thank you for making this dream a reality.
Thank you for having us.
In our 75th anniversary, this concert, The Magic of Sleeping Beauty, takes place Saturday, January 24th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at the Alberta Bear Theater. More information at billingssymphony.org, and we can't wait to share this incredible event with you.